teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another edition of condensed milk. I'm not entirely sure how long this video is going to end up being. It probably will seem quite long considering the title, but Foodie put out 7 hours just over of videos yesterday. I'm not sure exactly what time, while I was sleeping, and I've cut it down to, I've got Nashville down to 22 minutes, dinner and Wifey down to about 5.5 minutes a piece. So we're going to slam it all together and we're going to make it slightly more consumable for everybody. I've got 2 cups of coffee and some water here because it's that kind of day. I'm already in like hour 9 plus of watching her stuff and editing down, and frankly I've already had enough of her face. But here we are and we've committed and we're going to do it. So let's get into the video.
No, I don't think so, bowl of sunshine. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even be eating for like 2 more days if I did that.
This is just a question about, hey, are you high? Have you done cocaine? She's in a car, so let's hope not. She's wearing some very big glasses. So, I mean, it's bright outside. She probably needs them, but we got no way of knowing. I'm just fingers crossed because she's in a car, you know?
So, if you see me eat, that's a good sign, right?
Not really.
I think people are just thinking the worst about situation, about, they're thinking, you know, about Dom and everything.
So confirmation that it definitely is Dom. She goes back to referring to him as my friend throughout this, but there's a lot of indicators that it's him. Like with her filming from that room, with some of the descriptions and some of the pictures she's put up on social media of the food and the fact that he was out playing football. The guy sounds a lot like he might enjoy the same kinds of things that Dom enjoys. Let's put it that way. And right near the end, I can't remember if I kept it in a clip, but right near the end of one of these videos, she was saying, oh, I've got an Arabic song stuck in my head. And I'm like, oh, really? Why? It's Dom. And the more she talks, the more she reveals. So this whole I'm keeping my life a secret, she either needs to shut up and keep it a secret, or she needs to just be honest.
I wish you guys knew like my entire life so you could understand.
Well, you've got the option of telling us, but either tell us so we understand or stop mentioning it. Because using this big secret life that you're kind of not keeping secret as justification for everything you're doing in the things we see, while actually explaining none of it, doesn't really fly.
Chantal's last will and testament. Welcome to Very Important Beezers.
That name.
Ready, set, don't bees. I actually don't have a will. I have life insurance, though. So if I die, I'm good.
That's a wonderful attitude to have, isn't it?
I won't be a burden on anybody. I'm sorry. It's not much. It's not much, so you can't kill me. It's not worth killing me over. My life insurance is not worth killing me over.
Your YouTube channel is not worth killing someone else over. Please stop looking at the chat. I'd appreciate that. This is a bit of a dark conversation. She's saying it as a joke, but I'm like, And also, I won't be a burden on anyone. I've actually got a friend who's dealing with the passing of her father right now, and she's having to make some hard choices because her father didn't have things in place. And so there is something to be said for not being a burden on people when you pass. She has at least, if it's the only sensible thing we can say, got something in place there. But maybe consider the emotional burden it's going to be on your family. Like, you are 37 years old. This is rather a premature time to have to consider things like death. And it's always good to have plans in place, but maybe be less accepting of the fact it's coming and live your life in such a way that you could have a full, natural life, yeah? People die all the time, but there's no need to put yourself in a position where you're encouraging it.
I doxed myself again? Oh well. I'm moving anyway.
And speaking of attitudes, that's a lovely one to have. She's already been doxed and she knows it, so it doesn't really matter if people see her walk into her house. I am cutting large swathes of this and doing my best, guys, but man, it's going to be a long video. I don't see that attitude changing when she moves to the new place. Like, I think it's going to be a very quick self-dox.
I was like, I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him I'm not at home. But I did tell him I'm not at home and go live from a undisclosed location.
I'm sorry about the quality. It was very, very pixelated, and this is the best we could get. I only kept it in because she was like, I'm not going to tell him, so I'll go live and say it's undisclosed. What was wrong with just not going live? It wasn't necessary. What was wrong for her was that she wouldn't get the attention and the, I guess in her head, admiration. She wants people to be jealous of her life.
There we go. Sorry about that. That scab, gone.
I do usually cut out her nose blows, so apologies. I kept it in because I was feeling shady. She starts blowing her nose a lot again here, right after she's had a night with Dom, and she was caught with white powder on her face. She did stop for it when she was completely catatonic over the last week. We saw much less nose blowing. It's funny how those allergies work. Also, she said the thing inside her nose had healed. So either it was a lie, or it's come back because she's done something that's perhaps irritated it. Just something to consider.
Now my nose can heal properly.
No, you said it was healed.
Nashville chicken spice. Well,
look, this. This was a fantastic choice of online clothing. It's semi-transparent lingerie that she knows is semi-transparent. She bought for that reason, so she could wear it with gentleman callers. I'm not sure why she chose to do this. There comes a point where you flash people often enough, you're like, why are you choosing to do this? Because it's clearly now a choice. Again, those allergies, man, those allergies.
Get your own plate. I think maybe even Pete would be happier on his own.
There's more talk about the move and her own place a bit later, so I'm going to save most of the discussion for them. But I don't believe for a second when she justifies this idea with, oh, it's better for him. She gives a shit what's better for him. She's deciding completely on what she would prefer.
Thinking getting his own nice little bachelor might be, you know. But they're so fucking, bachelor's like $1,000 here a month.
I don't see why. I've got a friend who lives in a one bed. She's a single teacher on her salary, and she has an apartment cheaper than that. I don't know how expensive their particular area is, or maybe because he'd have to live more centrally to have more access to public transport and walking, maybe it's just more expensive there, but she lives cheaper than that. And she lives in Montreal.
Or like $1,200. It's not even just the money, it's like, I don't want to pay that. Not what I want to pay, but him. Like, I don't want him to pay that.
What she pays and what he pays and how it's balanced is also something she goes back and forth on throughout her discussions on this topic.
I don't see anything wrong with sugar mamas. I mean, if sugar daddies can exist. No, it's true.
Sugar mamas are a thing.
I'm a sugar mama. I'm not old enough yet.
I don't think necessarily. I mean, yes, traditionally it's older people with younger partners, if we're going to call them partners. But I recently said to my dad, I was laughing at something and I went, oh, am I too young to have a heart attack? And he was like, no. Thanks, Dad. I think she may think she's younger than she is.
Pay all my boyfriend's rent. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I don't know. Nuts. I think at that point, I'll just deal with the situation then. Maybe I'll take off and go work in a diner in Desert Valley.
Okay, so she has absolutely no idea what she'll do if YouTube dries up, because come on now.
Death Valley. Regardless, I think I'll find something creative to do.
I'm not sure what she means by creative. I do know that she's very resistant to any kind of regular schedule, which is going to be very difficult for any traditional job, shall we say, because YouTube is all we've seen her do for the last few years, and everything she's told us about being employed prior to YouTube, she has hated and rebelled against. So I don't think she's gotten more capable of handling those situations, so she really needs to hope this doesn't dry up and maybe deal with her channel better, because she's got no plans after this. She's got no safety net from this. There is a distinct lack of future planning purposefully. She does avoid thinking about these things because it's hard. It's hard, it requires effort, and it requires planning, and she hates all of those things. But recently, the conversation of money has become more and more prominent as she's been spending more of it, and I think she's been feeling the pinch of it more.
I know this sounds so bad, but I'd rather give blowjobs for a living than like work at a cash register. I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't care about people. Like, I don't like when people complain about stupid things. I have trouble being nice. Sex is more fun than fucking like happy of your receipt. And I'm not dogging people because that's the reality. That could be going right back to that in like tomorrow.
This did sound like she was saying going back to sex work for a minute, and I was like, no, she means customer service. One, customer service is fucking difficult. I have been in it. I have moments when I've hated it, but I've been in it and it's hard. Customer service is a very, very underrated job where you deal with a lot of shit. So I don't think for a second she's suited to it, and I don't blame her for not liking it, but appreciate the difficulties of the job. Second, I think you may be underestimating sex work. To be like, oh, sex is fun. Honey, I don't think many people get into it for the pleasure. Like, your picture of what sex work is seems to be a little bit different from my understanding of what people go through in sex work. And getting into it, I want to say by choice, but if she was doing it because she couldn't earn enough money elsewhere, I don't know how much of a choice that would be. I think the freedom she thinks she'll have in the job and her response to the people she would be having sex with, it seems an unrealistic picture of the work. Now, OnlyFans, if she wanted to go that route, OnlyFans would have been an option, but she completely screwed it last time. So another thing I don't think she's appreciating in the sense of sex work is the amount of hustle. Like, people hustle to make that work, and I don't think for a second she put that effort in.
You're right, Brooke. Okay, not BJ. That is not a good living.
Have to find something that's no effort.
You never know if they're gonna be clean or what. It would be a tough job. OnlyFans then. Find your mukbang or porn pen niche? No. I don't want to do that. I have to do something I want to do and not just something to make money, you know?
Because she's got standards now. And she practically was in that niche at one point, and she seemed to be enjoying it, so...
I don't know, Brooke. I'm not sure, because I've never done just constant live streaming to compare on a month-to-month basis. I'd say it's probably about equal. If not, maybe a bit more, because I do the live stream so often. After they're uploaded, it's a video, so people watch it like a video.
We actually talked about this a couple of videos ago, I think, here on channel, in the sense of I don't think she's losing that much money because she does have so many frequent videos, but I think she's potentially losing money in other ways, maybe, in terms of click-through rates, people who are willing to watch the end, the fact that more people will come to videos like this that just condense it down because it's more consumable that way. There's a lot of sort of factors that go into the balancing of that. She doesn't seem too sure. She doesn't seem to know the effect it's going to have. She's been doing this for 3 months, and I find YouTube quite inconsistent in terms of earnings, so it's possible that she doesn't really know the impact at this point. And so long as her card goes through, this seems to be one of the areas where she's like, well, I don't look at it too hard. But because of the things going on in her life, because she wants to move, because of all the money she spent on coke, all of it, she's having to look at her finances harder. The taxes she keeps not wanting to do, it's making the financial stuff a lot closer, and I don't think she's comfortable with that because it's too much adult thought.
Taekwondo Joe. Oh shit.
She coughs for a while. Like, her lungs are trying to leave. She goes for it. This is her flashing us. Because I mistakenly believed when she walked over in her underwear and she was like this, I knew she didn't have a bra on, but her stomach was covering her front area. So I didn't realize she wasn't wearing underwear. But you know, happily she showed us. So now we all have that knowledge and we all have to live with it.
Alright, well, I'm done with that for now.
She was not, in fact, done with that for now. This was a bit later in the video, though, to be fair.
What was Joe's response? What did you say about, what was his response to my ass? See, I told you you were gonna flash this.
Yeah.
Puffer? I think once I cough, I'm okay.
Yeah, until you take another drag and then you asphyxiate yourself again. Maybe don't smoke. Like, there are so many other ways you can get THC into your system. Why are you choosing smoking with all your lung problems?
I took my other puffer today. I've been taking the important medications. They're all important, but actually.
Yeah. Which ones does she classify as important right now? Interestingly, if I'm remembering correctly, and if I'm incorrect, please correct me below, I think she said she had come off the Ozempic because she found it wasn't working and it was kind of expensive. Which again, the money talk. If money weren't an issue, I wonder if she just would have stayed on it. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Ozempic isn't working anymore for weight loss and for not eating as much because she does so many drugs around it. But the point of the Ozempic was blood sugar regulation, and it seemed to be working for that as an ongoing thing, even with all the other problems. So the fact that she's come off it and gone on to something else is quite interesting, because it was never meant to be a weight loss drug, but the moment it wasn't working for weight loss like she ever worked it, she came off it.
Yeah.
I'm on my second cup already.
It looks distorted. Sounds so distorted, fupa.
I cut out a whole conversation about the shape and size of her fupa there. You are welcome. When she says I gotta call the doctor, it's not about all the prescriptions she's missing. It's about kind of loose skin.
No, that's just like maintenance. That's how much I need, like my tolerance level.
That's her drugs she's taking.
10 milligrams, Joe. I just had 150. 10 milligrams would do nothing.
Yeah, so you know how we're talking about medicated? Like, her understanding of what a dose is, her understanding of how she should feel post-dose with what she's saying it's for, which is anxiety, they're all not matching up at all. But she's still blowing her nose.
Alright, we'll see if this is a lot.
It's a lot. It's 150 milligrams, and you're still vaping.
I have to lose all my weight to get my fupa removed. But I'm sexually active now.
Look at the, oh, I didn't freeze it right, but look at the smile there. I have to tell you I'm sexually active again. I have to share this with you. I'm hiding it. Guys, I have privacy. I have a whole nother life you know nothing about. But guys, I'm having sex.
I was just with people trying to do healthier things together, because if you build your relationship off doing unhealthier things, but I don't want to even say that, but you know what I mean. Maybe trying to replace that and do things that are more wholesome. Unfortunately, a lot of those things was eating.
I'm not sure what she classifies as wholesome. I'm not sure why she's using the word when her last few nights seem to have been sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I also don't think that Dom, and I'm still convinced it is Dom, had any interest in wholesome activities with her. This doesn't seem the place to look for a wholesome relationship. So what on earth is running through your mind here?
Well, I mean, I'm not stressing. There's places to move. I am very I'm very nonchalant about a lot of stuff these days.
Doesn't nonchalant sound so much better than what she's been doing, than disconnected, than hiding, than running? Doesn't nonchalant sound so much better? Someone used it in chat, and so I've got a feeling we may hear that again. You're like, you not caring isn't the same as you being nonchalant, because you've said that you're a very anxious person. Nonchalant implies, well, it doesn't matter, it's not affecting me, we're okay. No, you've got your head in the sand. If you were nonchalant, you wouldn't be dosing 150 milligrams of self-medicated THC.
No, we don't pay Pete's rent. He pays a portion of it.
This narrative changes slightly a bit later. It goes back and forth.
The whole deal to moving here, and I know this is our business.
Or maybe it was
I
here.
wanted to move somewhere more affordable, and I was like, please, if we get this place, because where we were looking, it was like this place had so many things we've never had before. Like, I've always been in crappier apartments. Gatineau is like not too far, maybe like a half-hour drive.
She's from Gatineau, I think, and isn't the story that Dom is in Gatineau? We think. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong on that. But it sounds like it's a cheaper place to live at the very least. But the story with Pete and what he's paying, and do you remember when she was looking for that apartment? She was either heavier or just had more trouble moving around. I can't remember exactly. But she was really hating looking at apartments when she was in, was it for this apartment or was it for the previous one she looked at, where they had a tiny elevator and she just sent Pete up and was like, take pictures. Like, she was struggling a lot physically to look at apartments, and so it was in her interest to get one as fast as possible without having to look too much. And they got really lucky with this apartment, I think.
Pre-doxing. That's true, actually. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I mean, she's given away a lot of information, but it won't be the first time, so...
When I was calling places, they don't need first and last month's rent, it's just first month. So for me, my last month is already paid here, so I won't have to pay double rent. Like, I won't have to pay rent here for the month of... If I give my notice by July 1st...
I think she meant August, because July 1st is already gone.
Going to Toronto, but...
From what I understand, Toronto is a really expensive place to live. Like, crazy rents. So, although she'd probably like the city in the sense of she doesn't really go out and do anything, I don't think she'd really get the benefit, and she'd be paying a lot more for a lot less, as far as I understand it. My friend who lives in Canada has a sister who lives in Toronto, so she was telling me about it a little bit. That's all the source of information I've got, but I have heard it's an expensive city.
Yeah, it was a 2-bedroom with baby. Hi, Donna. The weight loss surgery. I don't know yet. Probably.
The fact that she still thinks she's got the option of weight loss surgery at this point, I go back and forth with the weight loss surgery with her, because if we've seen anything over the last 3 months, it's how quickly she completely imploded when food was no longer an immediate option. Like, she just, when we say spiral, she torpedoed down the moment food was taken away. And when you add to the fact she now has actual medical records of addiction, and she's supposedly, she still hasn't done it, and I've still got concerns about her maybe not doing it, but she still is theoretically going to go through therapy for recovery, although she makes several excuses during the course of this. So any kind of psychological component of the weight loss surgery process would put up a dozen red flags on her. Now, sometimes checks aren't as thorough as they should be and people can still get it, but I don't think it's hit her yet the impact that this current arc of her life could have on her future plans with weight loss surgery.
I don't think it'll fix anything.
It won't.
For me. I'm not sure. Although people are saying, like, if you're a food addict, it won't help you.
This is where I go back and forth. Like, immediately post-surgery, you can only get so much food in. It would help. It would help temporarily, but it would help. But I don't think she's ever going to do the psychological work for long-term success.
But I don't know if that's true or not. I want to move somewhere nice. Like, I can't downgrade. I don't know. I can't go down. I'm happy, but just people know where I live, you know? I just don't feel the same being here in this.
She has had more issues with people being sent to her door just recently that might make this a little less comfortable, but people have known where she lives for a very long time and it hasn't been an issue until now. So I think there's more going on there, and she does say it's not the whole picture.
I kind of want to live by myself. I don't know.
Okay, so she wants to live by herself, and that's fine too. and she could still get a nice 1-bed apartment and pay less than she pays now. So in terms of downgrading, she could get something decent and still be saving money.
It would help with the intense therapy. Yeah, I'd have to really try. That's why I'm not,
I shouldn't laugh, but when she's like, yeah, I'd have to really try, so I'm not doing it. It's not funny, but sometimes all you can do is laugh.
Well, it just feels so differently. Like we had an agreement when we moved in here. Not an agreement, but like an understanding, like, okay, we're gonna live together for like ever and just be like platonic life partners. I don't want platonic anymore. I want like D every day, 8 million times a day. I'm just kidding.
She's not just kidding. It's fine that she's not just kidding. I have no problem with the idea that she wants to now live alone. I think she plans her life a bit too much around her immediate circumstances rather than thinking, is this going to be true forever? Especially in the wake of how it finished last time, to be changing her entire living circumstances. I don't think it's particularly fair that Pete's, because he is quite dependent on her to pay certain bills so he can afford to live there, is now caught up in this decision and doesn't really have an option, because if she wants to move, he can't stay there. But I don't think she's wrong that separately, he at least would be in a healthier position. Her, on the other hand, I'm not sure being alone would be a good thing for her. I'm not sure living alone and having the contact with Dom or with whoever and not having anyone else there to be like, hey, let's take a step back. Not that I think Pete does that, but not having any limitations on her daily life at all, I don't think that's good for her. We haven't seen good things from that in the current arc, but she'll do what she wants to do.
No, I really, really, really am enjoying having a sex life again. Sex life, I think, is healthy for me. If I can handle it emotionally.
Well, that would be my question, because what part of it is healthy then? If you're not sure you can handle it emotionally, it's not doing good things for you emotionally, and hasn't. We've seen you going crazy in the dark in your car, taking his laundry after someone showed you his dick pics. Like, we have seen you lose it several times with this dude, and you've said yourself that you're like that with everybody you're with. So how is the sex healthy for you? You don't seem to practice safety in the doing of the act. It doesn't seem to be good for you emotionally, and it's putting you back into a very toxic situation in terms of your eventual recovery. Which part of it is healthy? In what way is it healthy?
It's not the major motivator, Angie. I think, yes, I'll probably be doxxed again eventually. I'll probably dox myself.
Yep.
But there's a few different factors. I did spend a lot of money this past month.
Yeah, you did. It's an expensive habit.
With everything going on and partying and holy crap.
I mean, we figured this out, but she admitted to what? A couple of grand the first time and a couple of grand the second time of the incidents she discussed, and that's not any other incidental costs or little bits in between. Plus we've got the $500 cannabis haul that we calculated a few videos ago, and those are only the things we've seen. She's had other stuff in between, and that's plus her usual bills, plus her usual food. Like, that's a lot.
I don't know if it's just like addiction and lust and stuff like that, because it's been, how long has it been now since I've had anything? A week?
12 hours, if that.
And I know my friend hasn't.
How do you know?
Like, I know, but they were like here for a few days.
Okay, so they were there for a few days. When people were like, look, there's dishes in the sink that aren't usually there, I was like, that seems a bit of a leap, because she never does her dishes, so maybe they were all dirty, but apparently he was there for a few days, which explains the Grey Goose, which explains the stuff. Her pupils are also quite large still. And I say that because a bit later she opens the window, the curtain, to show outside, so the light is brighter and her pupils don't change.
Relying heavily on the THC and food. It's been like a week or more, hasn't it?
No.
When I was at the hospital, it was like the last time.
That's not true. I don't believe it. There is photo evidence showing otherwise. No.
I'm trying to do normal, wholesome things.
This
Because
isn't the
I
place
think
for that.
on some level, I do have a genuine connection with somebody and know them in a different way than everybody else. Like how the world sees this person.
The world sees this person that way because you introduced them that way. And because he is that way.
Yeah, Channy, yeah, snow. So like no snow since when? Like when was the last time?
On the floor mattress. That was the last time. Do I need the picture again? Oh, don't make me go find the picture again. If I've still got it, I'll put it up. That was the last time. The ER, I believe, was on the 9th of July. I think it might have been earlier. That would put us at like a week and a half. But I don't believe for a second that's the last time you did a hard drug. Let's say she's on something else potentially, but a hard drug, an illegal drug, that was not the last time.
Yeah, I don't think the apps that the person gave me, I need something more intense therapy than that. I am looking into, I want to get a good one. I don't want to start it over, all that shit, you know?
You don't want to start, period. Remember I was saying the route this was going to take of, okay, I need some support. Okay, I've got the support. I've signed up. I want a person. Okay, I found a person, but it's not the person I had before and I really liked her. Oh, she specializes in something else. I don't want to see anyone else. We're still on that path.
I know. I think I'm putting it off because I really don't want to do it too.
Yeah.
It's a daunting task for me to do, and it's just overwhelming with so many other things I have to do.
If you started doing any of those things, the other things would seem less overwhelming. Because this is going to be a really big, really difficult thing to do. Like, even for someone who takes care of their own shit, starting a recovery program, starting therapy, it's big and it's scary and it's intense. So, on top of the fact that she can handle precisely none of her adult life, it's going to be hard. She still needs to do it.
I mean, the taxes, it's easy. Like, I'll get it to them, like...
So easy, she hasn't done it yet in the 3rd week of July.
Just send the paper, the email, payment, lets me know how much I'm gonna pay or how much my taxes were. So I never get a refund. Then you just say, okay, to the Canada Revenue, this is how much I pay. And then you just pay it off.
If it's so easy, why hasn't she done it? Or if they're going to give her a lump sum to pay, I don't know how the payments work. Is it the fact that one of the expenses she doesn't have right now is the money to pay the taxes? So she's just letting the late fees accrue until she has the money? I don't know what the issue is. If it's a case of just send an email, then send the sodding email.
Depending, you know? Or save some from every paycheck, because that's how we have to do it here. You just save some from every paycheck, which doesn't always happen.
Yeah, and the more she tells us of that, the more you can see the lack of financial planning, which again is not shocking. I'd be shocked if she were planning financially and saving a sensible amount or any of that stuff, because she just doesn't like to focus on the future at all. But if she hasn't been putting aside that tax money, then that's a lump sum she's got to come up with. And so if you avoid asking the question, you don't get the answer, you don't owe the money. But it's bound to be a fair sum.
It's like, I'm not responsible with money.
I can believe it.
I had a hard time, like, with when I went through with Dom, but then I felt stupid because there were a lot of things that, like he proved that he wasn't lying about.
Proved the other night while you were there. Proved while he was staying at your place, helping you clean, which is a whole thing we'll talk about in a minute, while you were drinking vodka. Like, at what point?
But people can explain things. I don't know. I'm not, like, here to, like, just defend everything and just talk about it, and I don't want to do that. But I'm just saying, like, I know you guys see a lot of my life, but there's, like, a whole other really intense life going on for me right now.
Okay, so talk about it or don't talk about it. But so long as you're not willing to explain it, then it doesn't become an excuse for what you're currently showing us.
Part of me doesn't want to hear people tell me how living my life is not good for me.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think just
I'm shocked.
that really bothers me.
This is my shocked face.
Like, it really gets on my nerves after a while.
Doesn't surprise me.
Even though maybe people are right.
Maybe.
I don't know. A lot of the time, I'd still rather, I don't know, just get the freedom to do what I want with my life, you know?
Here's the thing. I understand that the type of feedback she gets would get irritating long term. And she's not particularly emotionally equipped to take it on her best day. So 4 years into her channel, yeah, I bet it grates. She's got the freedom to live any life she wants to live. Any life she wants to live, she's got the freedom to do. We comment on the life she puts publicly onto the internet. And if she wants to earn money by making her life public, the exchange for that is having people talk about it. This isn't a hard concept. But if what you want, which is actually what she says she wants at this point, is to put her life out there and have absolutely no feedback for it, it's not going to happen.
Accountability bothers you. Yeah.
I mean, she's at least clear.
If I'm sharing, I guess, I don't know. I'm not looking for accountability.
This is extra hilarious later when she's like, I want to do a challenge and we'll have accountability because I'll do it on live.
Maybe there were times when I was, and I think maybe that's the word that bothers me, accountability.
She has had multiple times, so many times, even recently, like when she confessed to doing all the drugs and potentially being addicted to cocaine, when she was like, I feel like I need to tell you guys, I feel better now I've told you. I think her phrase was, it will set up an expectation with you guys, which is the same thing as accountability. And I'm just like, what? Excuse me, madam? I mean, this is the most honest thing she's said in a very long time. But yeah, you set up the idea of wanting accountability a lot on your channel and you never want it.
I don't really care right now about stability, honestly. I just want to ride the wave.
All the way to crashing on the shore.
It's not, but that's the thing. Like, it's so, Joe, that's the thing. It's not like somebody gave me lines. It's like, the thing for me, I didn't find it a red flag when people, like, it was middle of the night. It was like the middle of the meeting. It wasn't like I got there right away and like, hey, let's do lines. Talking for a while, and he's like, hey, do you want to do like for me, like when
First, we're going to talk. First, when she initially admitted she'd done it, she said she did it really soon after she got there. Because if you all remember, the conversation was then, well, why were you driving home with cocaine in your system? And she was like, no, I did it very early on. And now it's like, no, it was the middle of the night. I'm like, interesting. Let's see what other lies she's telling us.
I'm partying with somebody. Like when I would party, I would do cocaine recreationally. Like I would just do a few lines. So it wasn't right. Like, hello. Like how many times would we go to parties and just be like, hey, let's go do a couple lines?
Never. No. Lie. Once, maybe twice. Here's how we know that. Because she has told this lie before. This part of the narrative she introduced when she was saying, everyone was saying to her, you're being manipulated by Dom. You're being manipulated by Dom. This is a terrible idea. He's convinced you is a good one. She was like, no. I asked for it. I did coke recreationally for years and years. It never became anything. And I called bullshit on it then because she would be so addicted by now. She would have been much further into her addiction by now if that were the case, because there's no way she's taking any kind of addicted substance and not having a problem with it. There's no way. But secondly, and I tried to find this clip. God, guys, I tried to find this clip. I think it's in a deleted live. She then went back on that and was like, actually, no, I've just done it once or twice when I was younger. Because I remember pointing that out when it happened. And I can't remember what live it was in. But if anybody has got that clip, I want that clip. Because she's already gone back on this lie, clearly forgotten she did so. And it's now like, no, I've done it recreationally for years. And I'm just like, shut up. Shut up, you haven't.
Yeah, Bobby, that's a really good way of it. You know, pros and cons. So anyway, Never turned into anything.
Because you never did it.
I think that the fact that it was right, I was really good into my Ozempic at the time and I wasn't eating. So being an addictive person, I didn't have food like I always had. You know?
I 100% think that not having food has made these other substances much harder to let go of. Be it, I mean, the gambling she mentions later, the shopping, the THC, the cocaine, all the other stuff, the sex, the attention. Everything else is harder to quit when your drug of choice, which in her case is food, is taken away because you're constantly trying to fill that hole. But her throwing this around as an excuse and a justification as to why this time it was different, no. This time it was different because you're lying to us. I don't spot her lies a lot. I tend to give her far too much credit. You have already lied and gone back on this lie.
No, I wasn't using food. So how am I disregarding upsets of many? I'm not.
Like this.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, what you guys are not understanding is I'm still going to live my life. And you're accusing me of things I'm not even doing right now.
Where's that photo again? This is another one of her like games with words where I'm not doing this right now. Okay, maybe she's on something other than the coke. Maybe she's doing something else. So she's like, well, technically it's not a lie. She likes to play the technically it's not a lie game as much as she likes to outright lie. And again, that goes back to that idea of, no, I'm not doing that, I'm doing the opposite. So you're doing something, but you're not doing what people are now saying you're doing. Because the photos exist, madam. The photos exist. And if that white powder is something else, then so be it, but you're still on illegal drugs.
Yeah, it's Janny, of course. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to mess up my life.
Moving on.
I can be careless and stupid, but...
Yep. But what?
You know, like I have so many people just checking in and I don't mind like that. I don't mind for my friends. My family gets on my nerves sometimes.
So we've gone from there's no support to I've got too much support. God, it's irritating.
I know that's so mean. But your family's more like blunt with you, you know?
Yeah, her audience being like, are you okay, sweetheart? She wants that attention because they're going to do nothing. They do not have an in-life presence. They can't do anything but enable her. Even like you think how the fates of Karate Joe have changed in the time he's been against the drugs arc, how she treats him, which will come up later. Her family, she can't talk to her family the way she talks to her chat, and she can't ignore her family the way she ignores her chat.
You just don't want to hear at a certain point, like people constantly being like,
we care if you die, please don't kill yourself with drugs, please don't ruin your life. It's so annoying, you guys.
I need to go to the Mohawk Casino. The Akwesasne Mohawk Casino.
Yeah, let's just add gambling. You do enough gambling with your life, let's not add actual money gambling to the mix.
So I would feel crazy. And then now I'm just okay with it more, like I'm more like thinking that's okay, because even if something happened and he turned out to be an asshole, cheater, whatever.
I'm just gonna pause it because her pupils are fucking huge in this. And this is where her curtain is open, so the room is quite light. And the pupils have not changed. I'm gonna try and do a close-up for you. But when it's like visibly noticeable at this quality video, you got a problem.
I'm okay. I'm enough.
It's a kind of serious and sad thing that she's never been enough for herself. And she's still treating the dom situation exactly as she always has. And again, she's talking about, okay, well, if it happens again this time, essentially is what she's saying. You're like, so why are you just still calling him your friend? Clearly it's him. And the more she talks, the more she makes that clear without actually saying it. But I suppose so long as she doesn't actually say his name, then she's keeping to whatever promise she has to him to not say his name. Because if I was going to doubt it was him for any reason, it would be by the fact that she did actually go live in a very revealing way. but I don't know what agreement they've got.
Guys, I have a very intense life behind the scenes right now.
And make sure you beg me for more information because I need it.
I'm hiding a lot of stuff.
Ask me. Ask me.
Yes, Dawn. I had 3 edibles and I'm smoking my vape.
Yeah. So that's
Other than
150
that,
minutes.
absolutely not.
Her pupils do tell a different story, but I don't know.
Well, I know I'm talking a lot and my pupils are big. I don't know if this affects it or the edibles does.
Here's the thing. Taking her pupils out of the picture. Liars do a thing where if something in the lie doesn't make sense, they'll point it out. And she's been doing this a lot recently. And it's a case of, no, I know this sounds like a lie. And if they acknowledge it, they kind of declare it in a way. Like, I know, look, I've acknowledged that this is strange. I've got no idea why, but no, I'm not lying at all. And she's done that really frequently just recently. Like, oh no, I know my pupils are huge and I'm talking at a slightly higher rate than I usually do on 150 milligrams of THC. But no, guys, it's definitely the truth. I don't know why that's happening. And even without any other evidence, that would make me suspicious because there's no need to point it out if it's the truth. But she's preemptively sort of answering any questions about the lie. She's had to think it out and been like, okay, well, this is my excuse, ready for this. And you don't need to do that when it's the truth.
I do feel like I need a lot of support.
But her family's really annoying.
I feel like I need intense therapy.
So I can't use the tools they've given me. I need to be special. I need special treatment. I'm not saying she's wrong. I think she needs intense therapy, but she's only bringing it up as an excuse to not do the more easily accessible stuff she could be doing right now.
I'm just gonna keep bouncing from addictions to have a wheel in the corner. It's not a joke.
It's not.
I have to make jokes about it to deal with it. I can't be serious and down. I can't. Don't ask me to. I can't. I make jokes to cope with it.
I don't blame her for this because she will not be the first person and will not be the last person to laugh at something that's difficult to deal with because they don't know how else to react. She does need to get past that and actually deal with the stuff. But yeah, she's using humor as a coping mechanism. Go sue her. You know, it happens.
Like, even when I'm in therapy, I'm always laughing. But the therapist doesn't laugh back. So it's really weird.
It's not weird. I imagine they've seen that coping mechanism before.
I hate it. It's so quiet and just like serious and just like, and if I didn't have any supporters, yeah, I probably wouldn't feel too well. So the supporters are pivotal.
So guys, don't unsubscribe. Don't, make sure you pay for my membership. Because here's her problem. If she's like, I don't want to hear it, and everybody then stops listening, she's got nothing. So she's like, I don't want the support of my family. I hate the support of my family, but guys, I love you. You are therapy. That annoys me so much. You are my therapy. Talking to you. I don't want any feedback, but I need you to listen so you can't go anywhere and keep giving me views and money. You must stay. Because, you know, otherwise I'd feel terrible. And it would be your fault.
Dang. And I don't want to lose supporters.
I mean, act better and you've got less chance of losing them.
You know, at the same time, I don't want to live my life other people's expectations, you know. I'm not doing this all on purpose for content.
I don't think she's doing it just for content, but I think she's more than happy to use it for content if that's what she's doing. And we have discussed that before, I'm sure we have. I don't think she's only doing it for YouTube, but so long as she's got YouTube, hell yes, she's going to cash in on it. Why wouldn't she do that? It's all she's got.
Trust me.
No, I don't trust her as far as I can throw.
No, sometimes I don't need help from like thousands of people, like medical help and stuff. I just need people to just listen. You don't have to give feedback, but
you don't have to. Don't give feedback. Don't talk back to me. Just give me your money, shut up, and listen to me.
I don't know where my garbage bag went. My room is clean. I can't take credit for it. No, my friend helped me clean.
This made me cringe a little bit. I know this of all things made me cringe a little bit, but have just left her room the way it was if she knew he was coming over, which means she had her version of clean. He got there and then was like, mm-mm. And then he cleaned. That sounds so cringe. That would be so embarrassing.
Mental well-being, priority. Yeah.
But it's not. Because that's part of the life shit that she doesn't want to face.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid of things. Like, I don't ever want to quit weed. I can't. I don't think mentally I'm strong enough. If it kills me at 70, oh well.
Oh, that sentence. Okay. Weed itself as a thing is not a killer. The way she uses it, she's very much dependent on it. Maybe not as a physical addiction, but she can't function without the weed at the moment. And that anytime you have a substance that you can't function without, that's not like I'm not saying if you're on medicine that the doctor has prescribed, but she's self-medicating with this. This is not something she's working with a doctor on. So the fact that she can't quit it is really, really concerning, and tells me she should quit it immediately if she wants any hope at getting clean and going into an actual recovery, which is not what she wants right now. She theoretically wants it, but doesn't actually want it, doesn't want to do the work for it, because she knows damn well to do it properly, she'd have to give up the weed. Also, my initial instinct was 70, who do you think you're kidding? 70. With everything you're doing now, I don't think 70 is an option. But so long as it feels that far away, so long as it feels half her life away, it's not an issue she has to deal with now.
Honestly, I know it sounds bad, but I remember I dread, honestly for me, I'm not as much of a hopeful addict as a lot of people. And I feel bad, and I feel like I feel like it's added a darkness to my channel I don't want. I was watching, I don't know if I was watching or reading something, but it was like, I think it was The Shining, or the guy was like 6 miserable fucking months sober, or on the wagon. And honestly, yeah, like, that's how, I'm at a stage where I feel like sobriety is miserable.
She's at the stage where she feels like the idea of sobriety is miserable, because from every piece of evidence we've seen, she is not yet off substances, and she's added alcohol to the mix, and there's no stage that we can say she's not had some kind of substance in her body altering her reality. So she's miserable at the idea of getting clean, which is just another reason why it's doubtful she will at this current time.
No, maybe a lot. Just the hospital.
Yeah.
Probably an appointment reminder.
Aren't we about on schedule for the ER doc checking in with her to make sure she's on a program and isn't using still? Because she was surprised that they said, yeah, in a couple of weeks we'll get hold of you. So she's actively avoiding medical appointments and doctors, which isn't a surprise, but still.
You know what? I'm such an asshole. I was just like mad, annoyed at the hospital for calling me. It's my health. They're chasing me for my health, and I'm like, I'm such an asshole.
Yeah, you're also very wasteful with public resources. The hospital's chasing me. It's my health. Okay, well, stop going to the ER then. Stop taking space in your doctor's surgery. If you're determined to die on drugs, go die on drugs. But don't access these... I don't want her to die on drugs. Guys, don't get it twisted. But don't access these services, cry about the fact that you're an addict and you want to get clean, which is the last update they have about you. They have you calling them being like, I need help, I want help, I'm in this emergency room. And then roll your eyes because they're trying to save your goddamn life.
Okay, I know all we do is bees. Are you guys getting sick of the beesing?
Yep.
What if I just decide to just bees? No, that's not good. I'm probably... I don't know.
I think this conversation is, one, she doesn't think for a second she can stop. That's part of it. But two, the more she mentions it, she's trying to feel out her audience and just make it more and more normal and just be like, yo, because right now she's getting a lot of negative feedback about it, more than she's ever really gotten from the close members and the people she trusts. So if she kind of pushes the idea a little bit, just see if she can get them to kind of change their thinking. I think she's sussing out where her audience is. I don't think it's a good place right now, but the more she kind of pushes it, she's like, oh, maybe I can turn this.
I keep getting FabFitFun boxes and I don't know why. I'm supposed to sponsor them, but
they're supposed to sponsor
I'm not
her.
sure. Well, that was before the I said I used meth before I said I tried crystal before. Why do I not? This is my problem. How can I not say things if I can't even catch myself?
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, maintaining an image that advertisers want to connect to would be a sensible thing on YouTube, but it's not where you are. And also, in terms of FabFitFun, for a while they were sending her boxes so that she could advertise them, but then she was paying for them herself. So I wonder if she's still paying and she just hasn't paid attention, and so she doesn't know. Because that's what happened with her HelloFresh, which we still haven't had confirmation of her cancelling. All right, guys, we do have 2 more. I know, it's forever. We're going to try and get through these a little bit quicker. Each one of these is 5.5 minutes, so we will get through them. Okay, we're going to do dinner and then we're going to do wifey. At the end of the last stream, she ended up, I think, going down for a nap. I believe she got some sleep. In terms of the timing, when I started recording this, it said that the 4.5 hour stream we've just covered was streamed 20 hours ago. And then that takes us to like 15.5 hours ago. And then 2.5 hours later, she streamed this one. So it seems like she had a nap or something.
I got dessert too.
Oh yeah, she ordered some meatballs.
I know I'm bad.
And
this is right back to my old habits almost, so I think we should do, I know I said I don't want to be held accountable, but if I did like a challenge, if I did like a specific live stream special challenge, like designed for my live streams, like don't announce challenges. No, but it would be like, I want to do 1 month no takeout.
I would love to see that, but I don't think for a second she's going to do it. And she's saying this while eating takeout, so it's not massively promising. But yeah, love to see it, although that would mean she's doing live streams for another month, so whatever. But it did open up to the idea of how long do you think it's been since she went a month without takeout? Years? I would say probably years. How long do you think it's been since she went a week without takeout? Probably the same amount of time. It would definitely be an achievement. But interestingly, she does mention, see how much money I save. So again, that financial question of like, how hard up for money is she right now? It seems to be a concern.
I want to try it. I don't even know what it feels like. I need like, you know what I mean? I know I can do that.
I would love to say you can do it, but you've shown no evidence of being able to yet. But give it a go.
And just see how much money I save and stuff. Sugar consumption. Well, if you have a problem with sugar consumption, you're not gonna like this or this. I did not cook. I'm gonna save it for a few minutes for me.
Okay, so, and there is where the idea dies. I'm gonna do it in a few weeks. Okay, so it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. I haven't even blown my nose yet today.
You've been asleep for 2 hours.
Breathe.
You blew it several times 2 hours ago.
Since I woke up.
Okay, that's not quite the same.
I'm gonna mute it.
Which was odd.
That Ash Joe? Did you guys see my... Oh, fucking hell. I gotta delete that stream.
She didn't delete the stream. Maybe she will later.
I went and looked, just before going live, my ass cheeks.
And yet, despite the fact that she went and looked, she didn't go and delete the stream. So it's a choice that her ass is on the internet now. And yes, the moment she did it, there was no way of erasing it. Like, it would have been on Twitter, it would have been all over. But she chose, she went in, she looked, and she chose not to delete it.
Absolute insanity. Stay home. Why do you guys want me to stay home?
Because the only other place you go is Dom's or to go get drugs, and it's not a great thing for you. That's why. It's safer at home.
This weekend. So boring. You're so boring.
Also, the money question. She's been bandying about this idea of getting VIP seats at this concert that she's convinced she's going to in February, and they're $1,000. Like, where are you getting this money from, madam?
I think so, Ashley. We can all just stand here until we die.
Look at her pupils. Look at them. Look at them. She is staring directly into a screen. They should not be that size.
See? My pupils are huge right now.
Yeah. I don't understand why, you guys. It's so weird. No, it's definitely not a lie.
And I literally just woke up, ordered dinner.
It's been enough time for that dinner to arrive.
I have so much things to do. So, let me get my planner out, actually. Oh, it's all the way under all that stuff.
I just left this in because I was like, you won't even commit to planning the thing you're then not going to do. The planner's all the way over there. Well, that bodes well for getting shit done today.
I don't know if it was enough for me. I don't know why I have to bone. See, like, if I get a sexual partner, and that partner is doing it, is, like, enough for me, like, I don't need more than one, you know?
Do you remember when she was going nuts at Don? She was like, you think you were the best I've ever had? Ha ha, BB got there first. Madam, haven't you admitted to cheating on every long-term relationship you've ever had? You cheated on BB. You cheated on Beats. What's this? No.
That's why it was always just one.
It was never just one. You've admitted to cheating on every long-term relationship you've ever had.
Here's what she said. What are you doing, stupid? What are you doing? You see his face? How it looks right now? He's spazzing. Hey. What are you doing? Yeah, you spaz! He's spazzing right now.
So we're still using this word. Good to know.
Look, are the ears back? You want Peace to live with you? Look after your cats when you're off bees in. Yes. Essentially. No, I mean, it's a perk of it for me. Someone here with the cats? Yeah, built in. I mean, he gets perks too. You know, most of the bills paid.
She starts slurring more and more. I don't know what the hell she did while she was waiting for the food to arrive, but my god. Also, again, the money talk with Pete's. Like, he pays a portion of the rent and, oh, I pay most of the bills, and maybe it's no one's business, and you shouldn't be putting Pete's on blast like this. Like, if he's reliant on you for certain amounts of money, maybe stop telling people that. It's probably not a nice thing to do.
I went like a whole day, maybe a day and a half without sleep, and then I had a nap today, but I need like a full night's sleep. I'm high on life, that's right.
You're high on something. We're not calling it life.
No, all I did was edibles, but not too many.
So right now, she's still talking about that 150 milligrams plus the vape, I guess, because she just woke up to eat here, supposedly. But now she's going from how she was while eating to slurring, and she's just blaming it on being tired. And I'm like, this seems quite extreme for what you're claiming, unless you did more, like what?
I did lower dose than yesterday.
100 and again, yes, 150 is not a lower dose. I mean, I suppose less than the 200, 250 she had been doing. But notice her use of the word yesterday. And this was where kind of her timeline and her sleep schedule comes in, because every time she sleeps, she considers the time before she slept yesterday. It was 2 hours ago. So, oh, I haven't done anything since yesterday, suddenly takes on a slightly different meaning when she's talking about the things that she takes.
I couldn't sleep the previous night because I couldn't find my cord for my machine.
Okay, so that's when she was at Dom's.
Yeah, I know what they say, Joe. I don't care. You know why? Because it just feels so good.
And ultimately, That's what's going to go on her grave. I didn't care because it just felt so good.
What the hell? Since when did hair fibers become a hater? And what the hell is snorting ketamine? I thought you guys know more about this shit than I do.
And again, speaking of lies, like, what even is that? What's ketamine? What do you mean? I know fuck all about drugs. I know what Special K is, you know? I'm like, what is it? I don't even know what that is. Oh, you'll have to explain it to me. And she brings it up again later and been like, is that a painkiller? Please, no, you have to explain. I don't understand. Ketamine.
Is that a painkiller? Is that what they gave me after my surgery? How the hell would I get that?
It's a mystery.
Then you are projecting something weird onto me. You didn't donate 15. You should be blocked.
See how her demeanor is getting more and more slurred and more kind of away from her?
Because you're annoying. And you're not the real hair fibers. This isn't right. What's not right? I don't know why people are being dramatic for no reason.
Please see your channel.
That's my... Is it just me or is the camera advancing on its own? We're just concerned. About what?
Please see your channel.
Yeah, exactly, the Punisher. I'm a grown woman, Joe. You're nagging? Gets on my nerves sometimes.
Her and Joe are having
Right?
some words
So-
in these streams. I'm going to cut that one off there. Her and Joe continue to not be on particularly great terms, I believe, in the beginning of the next stream. And again, this whole thing of why are you concerned? Why are you being dramatic for no reason? Because you're relying on the people in your chat to pay you extra to see you act this way and then use it to fund all these problematic things. That is why people are concerned. Because they're literally paying extra to be concerned. And finally, oh god, guys, we might survive this. Finally, we go into Wifey. So this is a couple of hours after the previous live stream, the dinner live stream. So she is awake and she is eating the rest of the pasta, I do believe.
Oh, you know what? I can just go live and have all of you to hang out with. I can't sleep unless I'm full. If I'm really hungry, I can't sleep either. It's like I feel sick, or I feel sick when I wake up. Really sick.
That to me says more concerns about your blood sugar. And like I said, I don't know what she's on now instead of the Ozempic, but you shouldn't feel that sick after you wake up. Like, that's a concern. Please go see somebody. And given everything you've been on, there's a good chance it's not the food, it's something else, because you ate before you went to bed. Like, your stomach's not going to be that empty that you should feel that sick upon waking up. Please get that checked out.
And I'm to the point where I feel like TMI, but I'm like, am I going to throw up?
Yeah, well, please talk to a doctor.
So,
You'll ignore what they're saying, but please talk to a doctor.
Sodium.
Heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack. It's all a game. It's all fun and games.
She should want to lose weight. Excuse me. You're hefty yourself, Joe.
Let's go straight to that as a defense. Oh, you talk about, no, I bring positivity with my channel. I don't throw around names like that. First thing she said to him on his concern of, instead of focusing on the drugs, she should be focusing on losing weight and getting healthy. You're fat yourself, Joe.
The fuck? Aren't you, like, why are people fake? No, you know what? If I'm gonna speak my mind, but I'm not gonna intentionally use my words to hurt someone else.
Madam, you've literally just called him hefty.
When it comes to, like, hurting other people, I'm not gonna do it.
No, I'm sure he didn't mind the descriptor. You were harmless.
Well, that's why I choose my words. Hefty Joe. I'm sorry, Joe.
You're clearly not that sorry because you did it.
I'm not body shaming.
You did it and you claimed to think about it first, and yes, you are body shaming.
Or calling him fat.
You just did.
And even if he is fat, who cares? I'm just saying.
Well, you clearly care because it was the first adjective you came to when you were defending yourself.
No. Joey, you do get on my nerves with the constant nagging.
Oh, so it's justified then. No, you're hefty. Shut up.
Do you feel like you get on my nerves and you just don't care? Or you just can't control it? Or is there something you want to tell me in private?
The fucking manipulation of this moment. Are you just being rude, or are you too stupid to realize you're being rude? Or do you want to tell me in private? Because really, remember whose channel it is. You shouldn't be speaking publicly, now should you? Jesus Christ.
Or are you just mad at me?
Yeah, or are you trying to make me feel bad? Because I don't do anything to provoke this response from you. It's not like you've been trying to get me off this drugs art for the 3 months I've been on it. Like, am I provoking you in some way? Surely not. Surely you are in the wrong here.
These marks are just like permanent, like rosacea. But yes, my mouth goes like that. So it does make it worse here. I smacked my face on my car door. It hurts so bad.
I don't understand what we're talking about here. I don't know why she said it. I guess they're just discussing her skin color. But how do you do that? How do you smack your face on a car door? How do you do that? She's literally telling us she walked into a door, essentially. Like, and why are you mentioning it? Maybe there was something in the chat that I missed, because guys, at this point I was pretty much done with her, but why are you pointing out this red? She's got a red face in general. Like, why does she feel the need to explain this? It just, again, when she starts explaining things that don't need mentioning, I just get suspicious, but I've got no idea what this red mark might actually be. But I hit it on the car door seems really stupid. Whether true or false.
Around here, but I don't think there's even a bruise. There's a weird... What happened to walking? If you see me on the live not walking, you just, from now on, that's because I told the walk to fuck off today. I'll probably, that's what I'm saying, like, I don't know how long I'll be live. Because honestly, I was like, sitting here to eat because I had the munchies. It's boring, so I want to go live to eat, but then now, short time it takes me to eat, afterwards I'm going to be like sleepy again,
So, I'm guessing because she took a lot of edibles, she's still high at this point, and that's why she's got the munchies. I'm not sure what the timeline would be, but nice. No, I was just bored, so I turned it on. I don't know if she doesn't realise she can just stop the live. It doesn't have to go for an hour. She's been on 3 times already, and she is actually live as I'm recording this. It's okay, you can turn off the camera.
Oh, I swear to God, this sounds funny. I spilled the bottle over. Yeah, so spilled quite a bit of it actually, maybe.
She's talking about her Grey Goose.
And then I drank the rest with my friend.
And again, so that means they had half a bottle of vodka each, which is quite a lot. And I spilled it. No, I spilled it. No, I don't know why my pupils are like this. No, guys, I know this sounds fake, but I spilled it. Okay.
And that's why I had the bad munchies. And I passed out.
Really?
Yeah, that's true, Jaina.
So when did she spill this? That's why I had the bad munch. All her stories are combining together.
I'm not supposed to drink much.
No, she's not.
Oh, see, jeez. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Oh, I need to stay alive, I need to stay alive, I need to stay alive. God, it's such an inconvenience. I seriously feel like she heard from somewhere, well, the only thing worse I could think of you right now is drinking with your liver. And she was like, challenge accepted. If you're gonna say it. It's the only thing I can think of. Why would you start this?
What kind of like life am I living, you know?
Well, the one where you get to live, that's the life you're living if you choose to, have any restraint.
Once in a while, I want to down half a bottle of vodka.
In combination with this cloud of smoke with my lungs and the illegal drugs and the sex and the general hard living and gambling, like, if I want to do that every once in a while, well, the problem is when you combine all these things, my darling, it gets quite concerning.
Vape pen. Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest. I don't know. I get frustrated with myself because I go through like this thing where I'm like, every person I talk to, we're like, don't be the first one to reach out. Don't be the first one.
Oh, talking
I can't
about
help
again.
it. Like I always want to talk to the person like all the time.
So how I'm reading that is she's now blowing up his phone with texts again, which just bodes wonderfully for a future car rant video. Let's wait for it to come.
Yes, it is. The documentary. You're right. Thank you. I really want to watch that. Yes, but what is it called when it's called Cocaine Cowboy?
I left this in because when she wanted to be vegan, she watched like documentaries on terrible, animal husbandry and abattoirs and things. And when she wanted to get clean, she watched Intervention, but not the intervention part. And now she's watching cocaine documentaries. Could be nothing, could be something. It's interesting.
On Netflix? There's no doubt. I'm slurring at this point because...
Yeah, guys, I can see it. No, I am slurring. You're absolutely right. Let's not address why.
No, I'm not doing more edibles. I'm good. I'm honestly going to bed. And they make me sleepy and hungry. That's the problem, is the hungry part.
You got a lot of problems. Hunger is one of them.
Because of the munchies part, and I have a weight problem, it's a disaster, and it can't last.
I think she said at some point in her life, I didn't cover, that her weight last time she weighed in was back up to 348, and that was before all of this. So she's regaining very, very quickly. And with, in conjunction with how much she's smoking, how much in terms of the edibles she's taking, and the fact that she's, I think, off the Ozempic, it's not a great situation.
So I have to find a way to...
I was under the impression there are strains of cannabis you can take that don't cause the munchies. I mean, that seems a pretty simple solution, but she wants to be able to eat, so.
Carpe diem.
I hate. That was the response of her chat. Carpe diem.
I'm already relaxed enough. That's why cannabis is really good to be, like, medicinally.
If your cannabis is medicinal, go get it prescribed. Otherwise, it's not.
And if you want to go through your doctor, it's illegal recreationally, so you can just buy, like, people don't overdose on it, right?
I don't believe people overdose, but you could hurt yourself while under the influence for sure. All the time she's gone and started cooking stuff while she's been high, potentially, we have no concrete proof, but potentially being in the car while she's high, being emotionally reliant on it, if not physically. These are all things evidenced in her channel.
So they don't put a limit on what you can get.
They do put a limit on what you can get because you're supposed to buy it from licensed stores. In Ontario, there is a limit of 150 grams of fresh cannabis or an equivalent, and there's a list of what that equivalent is. And if she gets it from a licensed store, as she's supposed to, the maximum amount available in any one item is 10 milligrams. She's not getting it from licensed stores. So those 1,000 milligram chocolate bars she gets, the Shatter Bears she gets, they're not legally licensed in Ontario. She's getting them from other sources.
Really, I don't think so. You guys hate on cannabis, but you know what? Has like the power of tranquil 10 million tranquilizers, I swear.
When you're taking the amount you're taking, I'm sure it does. I'm more concerned the fact that you seem to feel the need to be tranked in your life. And your doctor would be concerned about that as well, which is why you're not talking to her.
And like no toxic effect that like lab drugs would have, you know?
This ridiculous obsession with the side effects of lab drugs. Anything to allow her to keep taking. And that's the end of those three. I am aware that she's live at the moment. I have a feeling her shower day live is going to be like an all day on and off thing because she has responsibilities she needs to take care of at the moment. She doesn't want to take care of them, and going live is a great distraction, and so she doesn't have to do them. So I will check that out at some point, but it's already 11 p.m. and I've got to edit, so I wanted to get this out quicker. And I will go through and see what she's got for us. But thank you so much for listening. I know this was very long, but I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.